How's it going, everyone? It's Adam from Life of Adam, and today I have a brand new lifeguard video for you guys. Now we're going to be answering your questions from the Q&A video I posted last time. I basically asked for any questions you guys have involving the lifeguarding course, passing the lifeguarding course, and just being a lifeguard in general. And so today I'm going to answer your questions right now. So first question, obviously this is a great question to start off. It's what makes you qualified to answer all these questions in the first place. Now I've been a lifeguard for 6 years. I got my certification when I was 15 and a half. So that's basically the earliest age you can really do this. I worked my way up from being a junior lifeguard all the way to being a head lifeguard at the same job. I've had countless rescues. One of my main ones is I did CPR on a 6-year-old kid and I brought him back to life before an ambulance even showed up. So I have rescues in basically all different areas and I've had a lot of experience. So basically I'm taking all the positives and all of the stuff I've learned over the years. I'm basically putting it on YouTube and I'm trying to help you guys out so you guys can pass the course and you guys can be very successful. I think that answers that question. Let's go on to the next one. Next question, at what age can you become a lifeguard? 15 years old. I did it when I was 15 and a half, but yeah, technically it's 15 years old. Can lifeguarding be risky? Yes, if you don't handle situations and emergencies the right way, it's to come back to you. You can be negligent. You can be liable for an issue. Let's say like you're on your phone and something happens and you didn't see it and you didn't handle it to the best of your ability based on your training, then it can come back to hurt you. So technically there could be issues surrounding that area. It could also be risky because you're physically doing all these trainings. You're going to be in a pool yourself. So obviously there's a small risk there, but if you're a really good swimmer, then it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you guys just got to handle situations the right way. That's how it could be risky, really. Can you do lifeguarding? Can you do a vlog of your day-to-day lifeguarding? Well, I'm in college right now. I'm gonna be a senior in college pretty soon. So my lifeguarding prime days are basically over, but you never know with this coronavirus stuff. I might get back into lifeguarding just for like a small time gig. But if I do, I'll definitely vlog it. And in the future, if I ever decide to like get a certification in teaching lifeguarding, then I'll definitely vlog that too. So definitely stay tuned. I'll definitely have some vlogs later on that will definitely help you guys out and hopefully you guys will enjoy them. Basically this question is asking what's like the best place to work? Should I do like a park, a resort, or should I do like a community pool or a YMCA? My quick answer to that, anything that's outdoors. If you work in an inside lifeguarding job over the summer, it's very sad and depressing. Like it's just muggy, it's hot. It's just like you want to be in the sunshine, you want to be with your friends, you want to be at a place that's enjoyable. I would recommend like a public pool outdoors with like a diving board and with like your friends from school, something like that. That would be ideal, or like a summer camp job. A resort is okay. I've never worked at a resort, but I'm not a really big fan of like the wave pools and guarding wave pools just because it's hard to see people and everyone's packed in. But yeah, lazy river is kind of a vibe too. Like you could lifeguard a lazy river. That seems like a pretty good job, but anything that's outdoors, that's my answer to that question. Next one is I'm very short, I'm 5 feet, and I'm worried people look down on me as a lifeguard. Just without even finishing that question, I've worked with plenty of people throughout my years who are short, like 5'1", 5'2", 5 feet, and they've done completely fine. The only area where obviously it's a struggle, it's like when you're doing like in-service trainings where like you're partnered up with someone who's a lot larger than you and weighs a lot or is really tall. Obviously it's a little bit of a struggle performing rescues on those types of people when you're shorter and petite. But I'm telling you, if you work at like a summer camp with like kids, like ages from like 3 to like 13 or whatever, and you're working with younger people, it shouldn't be an issue at all because they're a lot smaller than you are. You're never really going to be in a situation where you're all by yourself and like you're rescuing a 500-pound dude. Like, don't worry about that. You're also part of a team, and don't stop comparing yourself to others. Like obviously if you're petite, you wish you were a little taller, like I get that, but in reality it doesn't really matter. Have some confidence in yourself, just have some great leadership qualities, and like you'll be fine. It's really not even an issue. Is it tiring to be a lifeguard, and can you mix it in with other sports? The real answer is no. The only thing I can think of that's tiring is like maybe if you're working an outdoor job and you're in the sun all day, and obviously you're gonna be drained from being in the heat. But if I would recommend to you, if you're doing like fitness training or like sports, try to do it in the morning if you can, so that you get it out of the way and then you can just lifeguard throughout the afternoon. Lifeguarding isn't really physically draining because really you're just sitting on a chair or standing up, scanning the pool or like putting in lane lines. But if you're doing like professional lifeguarding where like everything's timed and you're like trying to do rescues, then I can see why it's hard to do like fitness and sports on the side. But yeah, I would not worry about it. Next question is, I'm insanely nervous about doing the 300-meter swim. Any tips for it? All right, well, I made a video on it. Definitely check it out. It's on a playlist on my channel. I think it's called Lifeguard Tips. Scroll down, it's how to survive the 300-meter swim. I talk about it there. Quick little tip for you guys. Obviously, you gotta do breaststroke and front crawl in order to pass that part. Do front crawl early on. Do like for 2 laps and do the rest of it breaststroke, because breaststroke, you don't get tired as quickly and you can pace yourself. Also, just a bonus tip, it is not timed, so you can really pace yourself and take your time. It does not even matter if you're last. In my class, I was last by like a minute. I just did it and I was fine. So pace yourself. Do not like try to keep up with people next to you who like are like Olympic swimmers. Like, don't do it. Go at your own pace and you'll be completely fine. Okay, 2 questions. I heard that deep water spinal rescue is the hardest part of lifeguard training. If not, what is? I think it is, because number one, it's like, yes, you make the rescue, like you throw the tube to the side, you go down, you stabilize the head. But when you bring them up to the surface, what you also do later on in the training, you do deep water backboarding, where it's like you have 3 people, you're treading water, and you have to like put the victim on the backboard, strap them in, stabilize the head, all while treading water. So that probably is the hardest part, just because it requires a lot of like endurance. But besides that, the rest of it's kind of a breeze. So yeah, I would agree with you. That's probably the hardest part of the training. Follow-up question is basically asking around, if you're by yourself, like how do you backboard someone? Well, the real answer is depends on where you work in the emergency action plan. Because sometimes if you see someone hit their head and you know immediately that it's like a neck spinal injury, there's like a button you press, a walkie-talkie. You basically get in touch with other people, so you're not just stranded in the middle of the pool, stabilizing the head, and like you can't do anything because like you can't let go of the victim and get a backboard. So yeah, usually there's a process that helps out with it. And if it's very extreme situation, let's say the victim like isn't breathing or like has a weak pulse, you would neglect the spinal injury, like you would let go, carry them out of the pool just so you can help them with like CPR and rescue breathing, because you prioritize like cardiovascular stuff over like stabilizing the head. So I hope that answers that question. Next question, I'm taking the course in early May and I'm very nervous to take it. Any tips to handle with stress? Well, for me, honestly, like I was a little bit worried at first, like I was a little bit nervous just because heading into it, I didn't know anyone in the class. I didn't really know what to expect. But once you're in it, once you pass like the first day, it's just you're in it, and there's not really any more stress or like emotion to it. It's like one of those things where like you think about it at first, but once you actually do it, you're completely fine. So I wasn't really stressed out. And think of it, I was 15, so I was the youngest kid in my class by far. Don't overthink it. It's once you're in it, it's like they hold your hand and it's very reasonable. They don't expect anything crazy out of you. You're going step by step. You're starting from a beginner all the way to becoming a lifeguard. So there's nothing really to worry about, and I wouldn't really be stressed out. Last question, what do you do if someone puts you at risk of drowning when you're trying to rescue them? So there's a part in the training they actually talk about this. It's like when you're trying to like rescue someone at the bottom of the pool, let's say, and they like grab onto you. What you do, actually, they'll teach you this, but let's say the victim's in front of you, you turn your head to the side, you tuck in your chin like this, and you like go put your hands under their elbows and you push up and you swim away, and then you go down and try again. So they'll teach you that and you actually practice it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's basically what you do is you tuck your chin and you look to the side and you push them up by the elbows, and then you kind of swim down instead of swimming up, and you kind of just get out of the way. So that's how that works. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Definitely like and subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more lifeguard videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.